Yeah, so in terms of milestones for HS2, well, we've just hit a major one. We've gone from being a hybrid bill to an Act of Parliament, which means that we're cracking on with phase one. It's real, it's now an Act. And also for the last year, we've been tendering for our main works civils. So we have just appointed £8.6 billion worth of civil infrastructure work. So we've appointed contractors. So that's a milestone that we've just hit. We've also hit the milestones of getting our enabling works contractor up on board and our development partner on board. In terms of going forward from today, we're engaging with our stations, so stations design, that's ongoing, an appointment latter part of this year and next year, and also the same with rolling stock and railway systems. So if you were asking me that same question in a year from now, actually I would be saying the majority of the main procurement for HS2 is done. We're well on that way, and it's up for us as a wide supply chain to deliver the project now.
Oh, that's incredible. How important is to you and the rest of the HS2 team in having the backing and the support and the engagement with other organisations, authorities across the Midlands region to help you deliver HS2?
It's so important for us to work and get the support from organisations around the West Midlands. HS2 isn't something that's to be done to people or unto people. Actually, it's a collaborative endeavour. We will make this project really successful and really successful for the region when we're all contributing into what we need and how we can deliver it. HS2 isn't the silver bullet that can deliver everything. It's the massive, ignite to create that regeneration. But it's a coming together of all those other projects, those last mile journeys, those other connections with other projects that will make it so impactful for the region. So it's really important that we all work really together collaboratively to make that as biggest impact and the biggest benefit for the West Midlands.
And finally, one of the overarching kind of themes of the day, other than let's all get together and help with the building and growing the Midlands region, is the three big things that you would like to see or you need from the West Midlands Combined Authority to be able to do what you need to do. What would be your three big things that you'd like to see them kind of implement or get on the road to helping you develop, I guess, a successful HS2 project?
So the three big things that I would say that are important for us, the first thing for me, and I talked about it before, is collaboration, because this project can't exist on its own in a vacuum. It's about everybody coming together in the West Midlands going, how can they contribute to it? How can they get involved? How can they bring their part to it? So the station itself, or stations, exist to a certain part, but then the public realm, everything around surrounding, and like we talked about, is the follow-on journeys from people's houses. All of those things need different people, different organisations to make those improvements happen. And so working together, we can bring it all together. So firstly, absolutely about real collaboration. And that means with common aims, real true collaboration, a team of teams. Secondly, I think don't wait. A lot of people think, 2026, 2033, it's a long way away. And actually, there's real opportunities to deliver now and today. And my analogy is with the Olympics. And I remember people thinking, it's just a 2-week event. But no, it's not, because for 2 years beforehand, countries from around the world are sending athletes to train in our climate. So there were more people visiting hotels, more people, so there was huge opportunities for businesses around the park from 2 years before the event to make money, to invest and grow. And the same thing is about the West Midlands. You don't have to have the station operational for the growth opportunities to happen. You can make those opportunities, and you can see it today in Birmingham with more businesses relocating, HSBC, HS2 themselves, and the impact that's having. So my second point is don't wait, start now. I'm going to stop while the teaspoons refill. It gives me time to think of my third point.
But now would be an ideal time. I don't think there's ever an ideal time. It's a bit quieter.
Right.
Yeah, waiting for the carts.
My third point is to really reframe our thinking and think about the future. This is a real opportunity to build something new, something different, and do something differently. So rather than try and do what we've always done before, we've got a real opportunity to do something different. So I would encourage people to have that bravery to think creatively and to try something new, because with a massive catalyst of a change like this, it's a real opportunity to do something different, to explore, to flex and trust that creativity. And so I would say creativity and innovation. This is a project and a change that's got that longevity. So you can trial something and you can scale it up and deliver it. So work with the innovation hubs, the catapults, look outside of your own industry and see what else you can learn from, because this is the project that, or the change in the region that could give you that leapfrog into a different space. And so I would say, thirdly, really embrace creativity and innovation, because there's a real game changer here that we can latch onto.
I think that the one area which is my background and in a way my specialism is planning and development. I think that one of the areas that has been missed out of the powers that the Combined Authority Mayor has got, Andy Street, doesn't have planning powers. He doesn't have strategic planning powers. It is an omission. It's an understandable omission given how the Devo deal was pulled together in the first place and the parties around the table. But I think that increasingly it will become more and more important for the strategic planning approach to be part of his armour, if you like. I think it would to be expected by the various local planning authorities. Having strategic planning powers across the Combined Authority won't diminish the planning powers that individual planning authorities have, but what it will do is it will give direction for a more comprehensive strategy in terms of housing and land development in general, but housing in particular. At the moment, it's a matter of being able to bring all those different local planning authorities together, seeing things in the same way, and actually sometimes they don't. Having an overarching view, having that strategic view in terms of planning application, if you like, and planning direction will make a big difference. They've got it in Manchester, they've got it in London, we really do need it here.
I think one of the opportunities today is to talk to the private sector and some of the public sector organisations about our ambition to continue to deliver housing within the city and also the region, and not just number of housing but the type of different housing that needs to be delivered to meet the needs of young people, families and the growing elderly population that we've got in the city and across the UK.
That's great. The overarching theme of today's conference is the three big things the West Midlands Combined Authority can do or need to do to help you and your organisation and other organisations across the region really deliver growth for the Midlands as a whole. If you can get it into three succinct points, what sort of things would you be looking from them or for other organisations, as I say, to help deliver that growth and make a success of it?
Okay, I think from a Combined Authority perspective, I'd say the three key things that the Combined Authority needs to do to support this region is firstly provide some clear leadership, not just through the Mayor but also in terms of the vision of what we're trying to create in the region, and that may come from in a spatial plan of what the region is trying to deliver in economic and in housing terms. Secondly then is investment into infrastructure to enable for that growth economically and housing and socially to be delivered. And thirdly then to create joint venture partnerships and partnerships with the public and private sector in order to create long-term investment into these local areas.
There's absolutely no doubt that this is the time for the region, and there are a number of things in our favour. Our asset base economically, the kind of talent that we've got, the young population, the connectivity of our region within the UK but across the world, the businesses, everything from amazing startups, ingenious startups, right the way through to global companies that have chosen to build their businesses and grow their businesses in this region has always been fantastic. Do you know what? It's only now that we're just realising how powerful that asset base is. So why it's so exciting now is I think the realisation that we're confident in this kind of difficult post-Brexit world means we can now actually project our voice onto a global stage and say these assets mean we cannot just drive UK PLC, but internationally we can put ourselves out there, which ultimately will lead to greater prosperity for far more people than ever before across our great region.
I'm just going to ask one more question, that's all right. You did such a great job leading the West Midlands Combined Authority and getting that, off the ground and running really, making real progress. Deb McCadman's got some big shoes to fill. How do you see her role? What are the key things you think that she needs to do as a leader of that authority now, say the next year or 2 or 3 years, to really make some inroads and build on those foundations that you and the rest of the authority have built in that time?
So I've been really clear that the last 2 years actually, as we went from a fledgling idea into a shadow form for Combined Authority, then we formed ourselves, and then we've got a mayoral Combined Authority with Andy Street. I said that we should remind ourselves and be momentarily self-congratulatory about the fact we've come from nowhere, a standing start, actually a sitting start really, and no one would have given us a chance to be having this conversation now at a forum like this about how great the West Midlands potential is and the Midlands more broadly. But the truth is, all that great positioning means nothing unless now Deborah Cadman, the team, the mayoral team, the wider region can now actually continue at pace to deliver the kind of regeneration, investment and reform of public services at scale that the people of this great region deserve.